Survey. How many of you found your last job in a one ad or through a recruiter? Only one of you. How many of you found your last job through a referral from a friend or a business associate? Most of you. So right here in this room, we have examples of how important networking is to an effective job search. It's your best opportunity.
Now you use personal referrals to find doctors, mechanics, and great restaurants. Networking is a natural process used effectively in everyday life to help you find what you're looking for. Well, the same good reasons apply to a job search.
Hey, Chaz, come on in.
Oh,
I got your message.
I am so sorry.
The expressway strikes again.
I am so sorry. I'm surprised I'm not still out there. There was a tie-up on the interchange, and of course the whole expressway, bumper to bumper, 45 minutes. Thank God for the car phone.
No problem. I've been stuck on the expressway myself lots
You
of
got
times.
my message?
I did. I got your message.
Donna, what did I miss today?
Well, today's session was on networking. We took a look at how people find jobs, and we concentrated on networking. But there'll be another session on Friday.
Networking? I don't really know what networking is. You call all your friends, you ask them to get you a job.
That sounds more like desperation. Networking is really quite different.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's what I need. Where do people find jobs? Donna, I know you're checking out for the weekend, and I know you have to leave and everything. Do you have a few minutes that we could discuss
Oh,
this?
sure.
Do you?
Be happy to chat.
Okay, because what is this personal contact development? What's that all about?
Well, we refer to it as contact development, but it's more commonly known as networking. And yes, the size of this pie chart section is correct. The power of networking and its importance to your job search is illustrated right here. Approximately 2/3 of jobs are found in the hidden job market. Now, these jobs are unlisted, unadvertised, unpublished. They represent opportunities that lie in the minds of people. And compare this to the published job market, where ads and agencies only account for about 1/3 of the jobs.
But well, let me ask, is this something that comes out of a book, or is this what you notice?
No, it's very real. There's tremendous potential in the hidden job market, and it's demonstrated time and again, as our experience proves that the best way to find the best jobs is often through networking. And it's even more important when changing careers. Put another way, your chance of finding the right job increases each time the number of people you meet and learn about you and provide you with job information. This is what networking is all about. It's purposeful relationships developing and continually expanding your contacts in the hidden job market.
How can I study and learn more about this?
Well, first of all, remember that networking is a very effective and natural process used all the time. You know, we've all asked friends and associates for referrals to help us find physicians or auto mechanics or the best restaurants. And the best jobs are often found exactly the same way. You can think of networking as making connections. The connection begins with a friend or business associate. For instance, up here, starts with a friend or business associate, leads to more people who can share information, provide you useful job information, and more important, provide you with additional contacts. The more contacts, the better. Because even at unexpected times, you never know when an opportunity may come up. I knew someone who got a job from a contact they made in a doctor's office.
No kidding. So it's a networking connection.
That's right.
Could you give me another example of this, of how that works?
Better than that, I'll show you, Chaz. Drop a chair.
Okay, thanks.
This videotape will demonstrate that although the networking process may be less formal than a job interview, the preparation and technique are just as important. So as you watch this networking connection unfold, take note of the way that our candidate, John Peterson, interacts with a friend he used to work with. And then pay particular attention to how he handles the meeting with the person to whom he's been referred. And that person may have useful information or additional referrals that could lead to a job in the hidden job market. But just like a job interview, it's critical to come prepared and to skillfully maintain control. And it's also important to only ask for the help that the individual has the power to give. So you asked about the connection, so we'll begin with the first link. So our candidate, John Peterson, recently contacted a friend and former business associate, Laura James. John called Laura and arranged to meet her for lunch at a spot near her office. So let's take a look.
I haven't seen him in several months, but as far as I know, he's still with Astro. So, John, what's happening with you? I'm delighted you called.
Well, you already know about the reorganization. Now, the bottom line of the merger was that they eliminated 3 director-level jobs and about 15 staff positions. It was quite a shock.
I know. I started to call you, but I thought I'd wait for the dust to settle a little. Are you okay?
Oh, I'm just wonderful. I'm 48 years old, a former boy genius with a big mortgage, college tuition, and no job. But other than that, things are just peachy.
I'm glad you haven't lost your sense of humor.
No, actually, I'm fine. The severance package gives me some breathing room, and now I'm beginning my job search. That's one of the reasons I wanted to meet with you.
I'd love to help, but things are really tight at my company. You know, a job freeze is still in effect.
Yeah, I know, and that's not the reason I called. My objective right now is to expand my contacts and to learn as much as I can about other businesses. I'm particularly interested in opportunities where I might transfer my skills. As you know, I held several positions in the accounting department when we were at Dexter Controls.
That was your first job after Temple, right?
Yeah, and I got a great foundation at Dexter. Cost accounting, inventory management, and a wide range of general accounting skills. Then when I moved to Adams, I directed the operations of 3 departments, accounts payable, accounts receivable, and purchasing. I was managing 18 people in those 3 departments, and I really learned a lot about how cost control affects the bottom line. So Laura, I believe I have a broad range of skills that are very transferable to other industries. What I'm looking for now is a financial management position in the Midtown area. All companies need good financial management, and that's where I need your help.
What can I do?
You've been in corporate finance most of your career, and I know you're active in the Midtown Financial Association. I'd like to talk to 1 or 2 of the members, not to ask for a job, but to ask for advice, and to gather information about transferring my skills to other industries. Can you think of anyone I can talk to?
Let's see. I know a man who's VP for finance for Johnson Foods. They're one of the biggest food distributors in the country.
I've heard of them.
We serve in the same committee, and I've gotten to know him pretty good. Tell you what, I'll see him at the meeting next week, and I'll ask if he has time to see you.
That's a great suggestion, but you know, I'd really like to see him as soon as possible. Would you mind calling him in the next day or so? Then I'll take it from there and set up the appointment.
Okay, I'll try and call him later today or in the morning.
I really appreciate it, Laura. What's a good time for me to get back to you tomorrow?
Anytime after 3 o'clock will be okay.
Good, I'll call you then. Oh, by the way, you know anything about Bristol Controls or anybody who works there?
The name's familiar.
Yeah, I've done some research, and I understand they're a great company.
I really haven't heard that much about them.
Hello, this is Ed Parker.
Ed, my name is John Peterson. I believe Laura James told you that I'd call.
Yes, she did. I talked to Laura yesterday afternoon, and she filled me in. I think the world of her.
So do I. Ed, the reason I'm calling is to try to set up a meeting with you to discuss my job search strategies. How's your calendar this week?
Well, let's see. This week is not good. How about a week from Friday at 1:30?
Friday at 1:30. Yes, that's fine. I'll call you on Thursday to confirm.
Sit down, John. Thank you. And first of all, I appreciate your taking the time to see me. I know you have a busy schedule.
No problem, John. Laura's been very helpful working with me on a committee. She spoke very highly of you, so I'm glad to help if I can.
Laura's been a good friend for a long time, and you're the first person she thought of when we had lunch last week. Ed, let me tell you why I'm here. As a result of a recent merger between Adams Manufacturing and Johnson Controls, I find myself in the job market. Interestingly, this gives me an opportunity to take a hard look at myself, my job direction, and my future. And I want to make it clear that I'm not here expecting that you have a job or that you even know about an opening. That's not my purpose. The reason I'm here today is to talk to you about what I'd like to accomplish and how you can help. Let me begin by telling you about myself.
That's a good idea. Laura told me a few things about you, but the more I know, the better.
Good. I was born and raised in Philadelphia and did my undergraduate work at Villanova. After the military, I got my degree in finance at Temple. My most recent position was Director of Finance for Adams Manufacturing. Adams' primary business is the manufacturing of electrical components used in the utilities industry. I manage the accounts payable, accounts receivable, and purchasing departments. While at Adams, I perfected my management skills. In fact, that's something I'm very proud of. I had 6 direct reports that were well-motivated and an effective team. As a matter of fact, we won the Outstanding Group Award. I was also responsible for strategic planning and the management of the company's 3-year plan. Prior to working for Adams, I held several positions in the accounting department of Dexter Controls, another electronic manufacturer located in Westchester. As I look back, there are a number of accomplishments that I'm particularly proud of. While at Dexter Controls, I fully automated their inventory tracking system, which reduced their inventory requirements by 30%. This saved the company $500,000 and made it unnecessary to build an additional warehouse. During my time at Adams, I directed a special project to streamline the accounts receivable department. The result was a 17% increase in our cash flow.
Cash flow. That's music to a financial person's ears, no matter what business you're in.
Cash flow is certainly a universal language, and I think the same holds true for the skills I've developed over the years. Basically, I've always brought to my work accuracy and the ability to motivate teams in order to enhance the company's bottom line. This has enabled me to make a material contribution to the company's results, including marked improvement in net profit and cost controls. Well, that gives you a perspective on my background. As I mentioned, I'm interested in any thoughts you might have on how my skills and experience might transfer from the electronics industry to different types of industries. But first, if it's okay, I'd like to hear about your career history.
Before I came to Johnson Foods 3 years ago, I made a career switch. I used to work for a company that manages hotels all over the country.
Hotel management? That's interesting. What was the job there?
I was their controller. Their headquarters are in Philadelphia.
Hotel management. Now there's a business a long way from electronics. Do you maintain contacts with any of those people?
As a matter of fact, Sunday morning I'm playing golf with the guy who replaced me as controller. We're pretty good friends.
Is your friend someone I might talk to add perspective on another industry very different from electronics?
Sure, why not? Remind me and I'll give you his name and number before you leave.
I appreciate that. And when you see him Sunday, maybe you could mention that I'll call?
Sure, no problem.
Great. I mentioned strategic planning as one of the accomplishments I was most proud of while I was with Adams. This is a real area of interest, and I'd love to talk to someone in strategic planning. Is there someone you know that I might talk to?
Well, let's see. There's a guy I know from the association. His name is Brian Dickinson, and he's director of planning at Graver Pharmaceutical. I don't have his number, but they're located on 8th Street. Tell him I told you to call.
I sure will. Is there anyone else you might suggest I speak with? I know from Laura that you're a member of the Midtown Financial Association.
You got your degree at Temple, right?
That's right.
A member of Midtown. Temple. The person I'm thinking of is Janet Thompson. She teaches economics there. Last year she was looking for some business people to do part-time consulting. She keeps in contact with local companies, and she could give you another perspective on other businesses. You might pick up some useful information.
That's a great idea. Janet Thompson. I'll call her at Temple. Ed, one final point. I'd appreciate any overall thoughts on how my experience and skills match the needs of today's financial management.
From where I sit, you have the education and experience to be a financial manager in almost any company. I think your skills are very transferable, and frankly, I'm impressed with your thoroughness and enthusiasm in gathering the information.
I appreciate the feedback, and I really thank you for your time. Before I go, if I could just get the name and number of your friend who worked at the hotel management company?
His name is Ken Watson, and the company is the Joyner Management Group. Let's see, here's the number in Philadelphia, 215-483-7700.
Thank you. I'll give him a call next week, and as you suggested, I'll also call Brian Dickinson and Janet Thompson. Here are a couple of resumes for you and Ken.
Well, thank you. That would be very helpful.
Ed, I really appreciate your time. You've been extremely helpful, and I'd like to stay in touch if that's okay.
I'd like that.
Great.
Let me walk to the front door.
Well, you asked about networking connection, and that was a good example. The connection leads from a friend or associate to a valuable contact to other people who can help you with your job search. This is the most effective route to the area with the greatest potential, the hidden job market.
That tape was very interesting, Don, and I'm sorry I missed the meeting today, but I have to tell you, as of right now, it seems to me that networking is the absolute key to the job search process.
You're exactly right. Let's take a look at that process. This process may seem more casual than a formal interview, but as with any important meeting, it requires preparation, proper technique, and follow-through in order to be successful. If the contact thinks that you're there for a job instead of for advice, it may be a very short meeting. So that's why this step, take the pressure off, is critical. You know, as you saw in the tape, John made it clear right up front that he wasn't there expecting that Ed had an opening or even knew of one. The next, you have to clearly and concisely communicate your background and your accomplishments so that you can help your contact help you. Then, through carefully prepared open-ended questions, you can get the advice and eventually the names that are the primary objective of a networking meeting. And don't forget where this process is designed to take you. Remember that each time you increase the number of people who meet you, who learn about you, and provide you with useful job information, you increase your chances of finding the right job. Here's where most of the jobs are, and networking is by far the most effective way to get there.